Celtic will be looking to bounce back and get to winning ways again as we take on St Mirren in the Scottish Premiership this week. Ahead of the clash, we have received some good news which we'll discuss in today's video, whilst also rounding up all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Carl Starfelt departed Celtic after two very successful seasons, adorned in the iconic green and white hoops. Seizing the chance to join La Liga's Celtic Vigo, the Swede was eager to compete in the Spain's Premier League. His decision coincided with the departure of Ange Postecoglou, the very person who introduced him to Celtic, making the timing feel apt for Starfelt. Yet, the transition hasn't been seamless for the central defender. After celebrating a treble with Celtic the previous season, he now finds himself grappling with relegation challenges at Celta Vigo. With just one victory and 3 draws in 11 league matches this season, the former Celtic star confronts a starkly different challenge from what he did in Scotland. From pursuing silverware to defending against Spain's elite teams, the shift is palpable. Playing alongside Cameron Carter-Vickers, the pair became a formidable domestic duo, having never lost a match in the league in where both started together. He could be doing with a big man in Spain with him, but you won't find anyone in green and white pushing for that. We extend our best wishes for the remainder of the season and hope Starfelt and his squad can orchestrate a turnaround. In the light of recent developments, fans can breathe a sigh of relief as Alistair Johnston was seen participating in training with his Celtic teammates on Lennoxtown on Monday, gearing up for the forthcoming match against St Mirren this Wednesday. Following a head knock incident during the previous game against Hibernian, there were apprehensions about Johnston's availability. The fears have been quashed as the Canadian international displayed no adverse effects from the knock, showcasing his readiness to rejoin the squad. Johnston's presence in training was not only positive for the team, but the player's personal health after a concussion scare. His involvement in the training session ahead of the crucial midweek game signals his likely inclusion in the starting lineup. The forthcoming match holds significant implications as Celtic aims to extend their lead at the top of the table. Currently enjoying a 5-point cushion, a victory against St Johnstone is paramount to maintaining our position as the season progresses. The team's undefeated streak under Brendan Rodgers' stewardship further amplifies the importance of continuing this momentum, and Johnston's availability is a timely boost in that regard, especially after the bad news about Rao Hatate's injury. In a recent interview cited by the Football Scotland, Brendan Rodgers indicated a strong inclination to trim down his team's size during the January transfer window. Rodgers feels the current squad is somewhat inflated and acknowledges the need for balance. Speaking candidly, Rodgers remarked, "It is more quality than quantity. Delving deeper, he said, there will be more out than coming in. There will be players who will be here for 6 months and won't have played. It is no fault of theirs. The squad is clearly more extensive than I would like, so there will be more players who will aim to head out and secure more playing time. Over the forthcoming transfer windows, we anticipate enhancing the quality of our team. Your team's comprised 25 members, inclusive of 22 outfield players and 3 goalkeepers. The present situation is not ideal." There's a clear indication that the Celtic squad has faced some issues during this season. Notably, some players had considered leaving the club before Rodgers' appointment, but chose to remain once the Northern Irishman took the helm. There were younger players who were anticipated to join and see how they evolved, Rodgers commented. Then there was this understanding which I am confident about, that there were certain players contemplating an exit before I stepped in. But with a new managerial presence, perspectives can change. They opt to remain, and consequently the squad size swells to its current state. Rodgers elaborated, "It's a combination of budding players joining to grow and others who choose commitment over departure. However, in the upcoming windows, we're aiming to streamline the squad to be a more manageable size." It is worth noting specific players like Kobayashi, Kwon, Rokovata and Benjamin Sigles could all be heading for the exit, along with David Turnbull, who will be entering the final 6 months of his Celtic deal. It's clear that Rodgers is ready to cut some summer projects along with some boys Ange Postecoglou brought to the club. Neil Lennon didn't outright quad any talk of him making a sensational return to the SPFL this season, but it seems as if though the St Johnstone job is one he doesn't have his eye on. Stephen McLean was sacked last week, with St Johnstone now looking for a new manager who can help pull them off the table before relegation fear really kicks in. However, while the former Celtic manager Neil Lennon believes there is a decent job there with a decent team, it probably isn't a role for him. Asked if he would consider the job, he told PLZ Soccer, "Maybe, I think it's a very difficult job currently. I think when you look at how difficult it's been for Stephen, you've got to pay tribute to this job's previous managers. Tommy Wright, Callum Davidson did. They don't have a huge budget, they've always been a difficult team to play against. Really well set up defensively, and there is goals in the team. This season they just look bereft of any idea how they're going to score a goal, and are leaking goals at the other end. There was maybe an inevitability of Steven leaving, and this is the danger sometimes. I know he was in the system, but he's a rookie, and this will have been a tough learning experience for him. As for my own expectations, probably not at the minute. Neil has been out of work for just over a year after being let go by Cypriot side Omonia. The Irishman led them to a trophy and into the Europa League, where they were minutes away from causing a massive shock at Old Trafford. The former Celtic captain hasn't worked on these shores since the COVID season, where one disaster after the next followed Neil and his Celtic team, as they blew the league in spectacular fashion, albeit with nobody in the stadiums, in what is now seen as a freak season. Haksabanovic left Celtic this summer under a dark cloud after his cryptic message on Instagram, where he expressed his frustration at lack of game time. At the time, Chris Sutton let rip at the winger and told him that he should have knocked on Brendan Rodgers' door regarding his lack of starts, or if he had any issues. Well, given that Celtic let him join English Championship side Stoke City on a loan deal until the end of the season, then that told you everything you need to know about the situation. On Saturday, the 24-year-old started for Stoke City at the informed Middlesbrough, who had won 6 games on the bounce prior to the weekend. But Haksabanovic helped Alex Neil's side to all 3 points by supplying the assist for the opening goal during the 2-0 win at the Riverside. It was a clear message from the player to his manager because he was unused substitute during Stoke's last 2 matches after only making 4 starts since his move. Celtic have moved on from the 2022 signing, who wasn't exactly pulling up trees in England's second tier, even though he was moaning about game time at Parkhead not so long ago. Luis Palma has come in and is starting to showcase real quality, whilst Maeda is being told he would be worth £100 million if he had a better end product. Either way, Haksabanovic made a huge mistake by not remaining patient because he missed the chance of winning more trophies and playing Champions League football. And now at Stoke, who are sitting 11th in the table, whilst they have a chance of finishing in the playoff places, it's an outside chance and that's it. Quinton Merlin, who had been linked with a move to the Scottish Premiership champions Celtic over the summer, has now become the subject of interest from several prominent European clubs, including Napoli, RB Leipzig and Paris Saint-Germain. According to reports from Foot Mercato, RB Leipzig, known for nurturing young talents and giving them a platform to perform on over the past few years, has initiated talks with Nantes regarding a potential January move. Serie A champions Napoli have also expressed their interest in Merlin, as have PSG, who have contacted Quinton Merlin's representatives. Nantes had a £9 million asking price for the player a few months ago, but that figure will undoubtedly have risen given the teams interested. It remains to be seen whether the promising young player, who has caught the attention of multiple European powerhouses, will consider a move to a new club in the upcoming transfer window. Celtic will likely be looking at other left-backs, with it seen as a position that can be improved upon. Celtic fans, what do you make of the news regarding Alisson Johnston, and what's your score predictions for the St Mirren game tomorrow? Let me know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember, we have released our brand new Celtic t-shirts with our Brendan Rodgers Pope t-shirt and our Celtic Ultra t-shirts too. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. Thank you, take care, bye bye.